Egyptian Navy units arrived in Turkey for the Egypt-Turkey Joint Naval Exercise 2025 Sea of Friendship. The Turkish and Egyptian navies have launched a joint exercise in the Mediterranean Sea. It has been reported that the Sumud fleet has entered Mediterranean waters. The ministry said in a statement, "Cooperation in the Sea of Friendship, unity in strength in the Blue Homeland." The Turkey-Egypt Sea of Friendship 2025 Bar el Sadaka exercise is being held in Axis Mugla. The exercise aims to strengthen the friendship and mutual interoperability between the two countries. This was the first joint exercise held in 13 years since 2012. Russia will complete delivery of all 5 S-400 missile systems to India by 2026, and negotiations are ongoing for additional units.
Estonia's defense minister said on Monday that Estonia is ready to deploy British warplanes capable of carrying nuclear bombs. NATO leaders are reviewing rules of engagement after 3 Russian MiG-31 fighter jets violated Estonian airspace last week and remained within alliance borders for 12 minutes. Spain imposes full arms embargo on Israel. The Spanish government has imposed a full arms embargo on Israel by royal decree in order to stop the violence in Gaza and increase political pressure on Israel. The export of all defense equipment and dual-use products has been banned. The import and advertising of products from the occupied Palestinian territories is prohibited. Applications will be announced to the public every 3 months. Secretary Carlos Cuerpo emphasized that the decision was made in support of the Palestinian people and to stop the genocide in Gaza.
A general strike in support of Palestine was held in more than 75 cities across Italy. Protesters demanded the recognition of Palestine, an arms embargo on Israel, sanctions against the Netanyahu government, and an end to the massacres in Gaza. Transportation, education, and logistics sectors were halted for 24 hours. Port workers blocked arms shipments. Clashes broke out between police and protesters in Milan.
NATO condemned Russia's violation of Estonian airspace.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Trump will deliver a speech challenging the UN. The UN is doing nothing.
Taliban. Afghanistan endured bad things for 20 years under U.S. occupation.
San Marino has recognized the state of Palestine.
Saudi Arabia and Kuwait have officially banned Israeli passport holders from entering their countries and announced that they will be immediately arrested if caught.
Regasa, the world's strongest tropical cyclone, was captured from space.
The Gaza Ministry of Health has issued an appeal for aid, stating that health services are on the verge of collapse.
Qatar Foreign Ministry spokesperson, "We are working closely with the U.S. to ensure that Israel's attack on Doha is not repeated."
The U.S.-based national interest. Turkey is advancing in drone technology. Anka 3 could change regional military balances.
Journalist to Ahmed El-Shara. Mr. President, will the United States lift the sanctions? Ahmed El-Shara, pointing to the U.S. Secretary of State. Ask him.
Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez. Currently in Israel, there's a government that uses the unacceptable, namely destroying Gaza, occupying the West Bank, and pursuing the idea of a greater Israel as an excuse.
Samara customs officers seized more than 30 drones being transported from Kazakhstan to Bashkortostan. This information was announced by the press office of the Federal Customs Service, FTS. It was determined that the 2 seized devices were aircraft-type UAVs, one of which was a reconnaissance-type UAV, and that the kits allowed for the assembly of 32 small-sized unmanned aerial vehicles capable of dropping payloads.
Over 70,000 people gathered in Rome, the capital of Italy, to call for a free Palestine.
Reinforcements, including tanks and artillery belonging to the Syrian army, have reached Aleppo, near the YPG/PKK-controlled areas of Sheikh Maksud and Ashrafia.
UN Secretary-General Guterres. We have entered an era of merciless human suffering. The principles of the UN are under siege. The foundations of peace are crumbling under the weight of impunity and inequality.
Swedish Defense Minister Pål Jonson announced that the period of peace in Europe has ended.
According to Reuters, the United States is considering imposing sanctions against the International Criminal Court this week, a move that threatens the court's daily operations in retaliation for its investigation into Israel's alleged war crimes.